50 Cent is allegedly talking about Ashton Kutcher's relation to Diddy in his upcoming docuseries titled Diddy Do It, and Ashton Kutcher is not having it. Reports are coming in that Ashton Kutcher is getting ready to testify after Diddy's legal team admitted to the existence of freak-off tapes.
Speaking of, in particular, Netflix docuseries that you've been working on, Diddy Do It.
Right.
You've been saying for years that you feel you knew Diddy's character.
Right.
Yet you said you weren't a part of that lifestyle, you weren't going to the parties. So what makes you so absolutely sure that these kinds of allegations that we've seen against him are true?
Well, I'm surprised by the allegations, as surprised as everyone else is. Like, I didn't make the allegations, I didn't tell people to say these things. It comes out, I see it in the news like everyone else, but I did feel uncomfortable with the way he would present the idea of going to these projects.
So come party with me.
Yeah. And then that swayed me away from it, just that alone.
So you didn't realize
as much stuff was coming. Like when I seen today, it was allegations of 3 men that said he drugged them, and it's a long time, to be honest with you. Like when people don't remember being violated for 20 years, it makes me feel a little odd.
What are your thoughts on the allegations against Jay-Z?
That was interesting. When I was saying things, not knowing exactly what I was saying, but I was going with, like, where's Jay at? He's mad quiet. Like while the Puffy thing was going on. But it's obvious now that his team was being made aware that he was in those allegations also. You know, so I hope it works out, because with his family, the things that go on internally is that those accusations are crazy.
After Jay-Z, J-Lo, and Diddy, Ashton Kutcher is next in line to get exposed, and allegedly, Ashton is trying to strike a deal with the government to try and escape prosecution, according to Fox News host Jesse Waters. Fox News has received credible intel that Ashton Kutcher has agreed to testify. Ashton Kutcher and Diddy were best friends for almost 2 decades, and now with Diddy currently under investigation for sex trafficking, AB of minors, racketeering, conspiracy, and transportation for prostitution, Ashton wants to distance himself as much as possible.
They bring in these people. A lot of these people were also aspiring young artists in the music industry. And then these parties were sponsored by Motown Records CEO, Universal Records CEO. This goes all the way to the top. And so you get these people in compromising situations. The drinks were laced. The videotapes were hot. And then at the end of the day, you wake up the next morning, what did I do? And then they have compromising material on you. And then they can guide your career. They could kill your career, but they got you. And it wasn't just people in the music business. As you said, there were athletes, there were celebrities, there were politicians, people from the royal family. And we were also told by the former bodyguard that Diddy was an FBI informant. Whoa. So he was a snitch and was feeding information to the feds. And we don't know what that means. We haven't been able to confirm it, but even Little Rod said it's not just like Epstein, it could be worse than Jeffrey.
In 2009, Ashton Kutcher set up Thorn, an anti-trafficking company, to combat human trafficking and child sexual exploitation. This was after fans had started to notice how Ashton Kutcher had consistently been behaving creepily with minors, and rumors were starting to flow about his connection to Diddy. Soon after, Ashton's wife, Demi Moore, left him because of what he was doing with Diddy, and Ashton started putting on a nice guy act.
Hey! Oh my gosh, this so rocks! I just want to say,
You're doing so good, you're doing so good.
I just want to say, everyone will suffer. Thanks, MTV rocks! I won the MTV Movie Award.
Someone should have the party tonight. Yeah!
Someone should have the party tonight. Yeah!
Wow, okay, I've got a lot I can't tell. So, can't tell that one either. I'm like actually cycling through them. There was one moment, so it's not really a party story, but our relationship was really bizarre. So it started over punked, because he was like, yo,
don't punk
you
me.
can't punk me. And I was like, I don't know what to tell you. Everybody's on the table. He's like, not me, I'm off the table. And so that started our conversation. We became fast friends, and we used to just hang out and watch football together.
I've been on FBI raids where I've seen things that no person should ever see. I've seen video content of a child that's the same age as mine being raped by an American man that was a sex tourist in Cambodia. And this child was so conditioned by her environment that she thought she was engaging in play. But the right to pursue happiness for so many is stripped away. It's raped. It's abused. It's taken by force, fraud, or coercion. It is sold for the momentary happiness of another.
Even after founding Thorn, Ashton Kutcher couldn't get away from being friends with child molesters, and in 2023, he had to resign from his company after news went viral that Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis were trying to help convicted rapist Danny Masterson get a lighter sentence in their letters to the judge. Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis asked the judge to give Danny a lighter sentence. Imagine trying to help a child rapist and telling the judge that you believe he's a good guy.
We are aware of the pain that has been caused by the character letters that we wrote on behalf of Danny Masterson.
We support victims. We have done this historically through our work and will continue to do so in the future.
A couple months ago, Danny's family reached out to us and they asked us to write character letters to represent the person that we knew for 25 years so that the judge could take that into full consideration relative to the sentencing.
The letters were not written to question the legitimacy of the judicial system or the validity of the jury's ruling.
They were intended for the judge to read and not to undermine the testimony of the victims or reach homicides them in any way. We would never want to do that. And we're sorry if that has taken place.
Our heart goes out to every single person who's ever been a victim of sexual assault, sexual abuse, or rape.
Just a few weeks ago, Mark Agnifilo and Diddy's legal team admitted to the existence of sex tapes showing Diddy in sexual contact with celebrities. Diddy's team says that what Diddy and the celebrities were doing is completely legal, and despite how the celebrities look, they are neither minors nor drugged, according to a leaked list on Reddit. One of the celebrities on this tape is Ashton Kutcher. Ashton is worried about his reputation once this tape gets out because it will be played in public.
The trial starts and the jury sits. Will they be shown these tapes?
100%.
Will they have to watch it in court? Like during
100% in court in front of a room of people. And so that's the other thing that's awful. They are going to be watching basically porn for hours on end in front of people. So in front of victim one, whoever it may be, there's going to be porno played in the federal courtroom.
And victim one would have been made aware of this.
Oh, 100%. She's probably being told right now, like, this is going to be played in open court. Your sex history, your sex life is going to be talked about in open court. All of this.
And presumably then she knows that and she's pushing forward because she hasn't withdrawn.
But don't forget this. It doesn't matter if she does or she doesn't. This isn't a civil case. This is the criminal case. So she could flat out tell the federal government, I don't want to participate. And they can say, we don't care. This is a crime. Crimes are against the United States, not against them. Keep calling her victim one, but don't forget, she's a witness to a crime. So it doesn't matter if she went to them in today and said, I'm not participating. Their response, we don't care. Get your ass on the stand.
Do they prep you for stuff like this in law school? Do they say, you know, you might do a case and you might have to watch hours of pornographic material and comb through it? Like, what's the semester on for this?
Well, you're exactly right. They don't prepare you for that because you understand every case is different. So you read about cases. Like, I think this Diddy case is going to be studied forever. You know, I think it's going to be studied in law school, but that's the way that we learn.
In their letter, they write, quote, having reviewed these videos, it is now abundantly clear that they confirm Mr. Combs' innocence and that their full exculpatory value cannot be investigated and used unless they are electronically produced. The 9 videos at issue are the so-called freak-off tapes with victim 1 that the government has repeatedly referenced, causing wild speculation in the media. Contrary to what the government has led this court and the public to believe, the so-called freak-offs were private sexual activity between fully consenting adults in a long-term relationship. Like many Americans in the privacy of their own bedrooms, they sometimes film their sexual activity. These videos unambiguously show that the person alleged in the indictment to be victim 1 not only consented, but thoroughly enjoyed herself. And we believe, by the way, victim 1 to be Cassandra Ventura. This is Diddy's ex, who first filed that initial sexual assault lawsuit against Combs back in 2023. She was in that infamous surveillance footage that was published by CNN of an incident that happened in a hotel hallway where Combs is beating Ventura just while wearing a towel. It's a very disturbing video. He argues the videos don't show any orgies or celebrities or violence or coercion or threats or manipulation or evidence of anyone being under the influence of drugs, that this is not sex trafficking. Quote, the premise that freak-offs are inherently dangerous shows that the government seeks to police non-conforming sexual activity and that it assumes, despite all evidence to the contrary, that a woman's willing participation must have been coerced. That's interesting because that's something we've long suspected, that the defense is not going to shy away from the term freak-offs. They might accept, yeah, Combs called these freak-offs, but this was entirely consensual. It was all in the up and up. It might be different to you and me, but there's nothing illegal going on here.
If they're really... If the government is the government in the Southern District of New York, I can't imagine this is what they're hanging their hat on if it's what the defense describes. It's like one of those things that when you have a weakness in a case, the government has to decide how they're going to use that. My guess is they're going to use it to show that there were sex workers, that these sex workers were paid. I would imagine that they have the sex workers that are in the video to come in and describe what was going on or what happened before they went on tape. Whether or not they had drugs or alcohol or anything else, whether or not Cassie had drugs or alcohol, whether or not there was a discussion between Sean Combs and Cassie before the tape started. So
Right.
I think that the tape is going to be one portion of it, but the testimony of either the sex workers that were in the video and or Cassie is going to kind of tie it together. That's my...
News about Diddy crying in prison has also come out, and according to the deal, the people that were connected to Diddy are worried about him snitching. One of these celebrities is Ashton Kutcher. It makes sense for Ashton to be scared too. He knew what kind of person Diddy was, and now with every celebrity finding out that Diddy filmed them, they're thinking about cooperating.